This is Benzinga Live. Spencer Israel and producer AB. What's up, everybody? How we doing?
Someone told me buy high, sell higher. So.
Let's get Matt Hammond on the show to talk some IPOs. Jake Wojacek from Trend Spider. We have a
breaking news. What is up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Today we have a very special edition of Benzinga Live. If you are a regular viewer, you may be wondering, why are we starting early today? You know, we're typically not on at 11 a.m. Eastern. We're typically on at 11:30. The reason we're here about half an hour earlier today, I've got it pulled up on my screen. So at 9 a.m. Pacific time, noon Eastern, 5 founders of different startups will be pitching Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary himself from Shark Tank. As you can see, Benzinga here, we're helping out with this project. It's been a pleasure to work with Start Engine here. And we actually have the 5 founders hanging out, the finalists, with us today. And they are going to be pitching myself and you guys out in the audience before Kevin O'Leary. So if you guys, are looking forward to a special treat today, you guys can go home and tell your family that you got pitched on a company right before Kevin O'Leary did. With that said, it is 11 a.m. Eastern. Like I said, the founders are going to be pitching Kevin O'Leary at noon. That's in less than an hour at this point. So I want to go ahead and get started so we don't take up too much of these wonderful founders' times. I was hanging out with them backstage before. I was telling them, look, I'll be honest, don't really have a specific order. So I'm just going to arbitrarily pick, and we are going to start with Joon, the founder of Hallo. Let's go ahead and give him our special intro and bring Joon on the show. Joon Bae, the founder of Hallo. Joon, how are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you, AB?
I am good. Thank you for taking time out of your busy Thursday to join us. Let's hop right in. What is Hallo?
Yeah, Hallo is an on-demand language learning platform for speaking. So we help language learners become fluent by just connecting language learners with native speakers in real time via video chat. So whenever you want to practice with somebody, you just click a button on the way to school, on the way home. Just open up our app, click a button, and start practicing.
So any language, so I see here on the homepage, it says speak English anytime, anywhere. But say I wanted to learn Spanish, you're saying I could get matched up with someone who could teach me some Spanish?
Yeah, over the past couple of years, we've only focused on English, but we're actually beta testing 10 new languages. So if you're learning Spanish, French, German, Portuguese, Italian, all these different languages, you can come to Hallo and start trying those languages for now. And then we're planning to officially launch those languages later this year.
Awesome. And then, so Joon, what differentiates Hallo from other, websites or apps in the space, such as Duolingo, Rosetta Stone?
Yeah. So Duolingo and Rosetta Stone are great platforms where you can start learning new languages. So if you're starting to learn a new language, they're great platforms to go to learn the basics and the foundation. But if you really want to be fluent and speak with native speakers, you can come to Hallo and actually apply what you learn by interacting with real people. So my background is, I'm an immigrant from Korea. So I was born and raised in Korea. I learned English growing up, a little bit of other languages as well, Chinese and Japanese. So I understand the challenges of learning a new language. And fun fact, before moving to the United States, I thought my English was good because my grammar was good, my reading skills were good, I had all the basics. But as soon as I arrived here, I realized I didn't really know how to communicate with native speakers, which is essentially the reason why people learn a new language. So the reason why I wanted to create Hallo is because, okay, there are so many other apps and schools where you can start learning a new language and the basics, but you don't really get to use the language and practice and speak. So I wanted to build a product where people can use it without having to travel or live in a different country.
Yeah, and I've messed around on Duolingo and Rosetta Stone and stuff. And like you said, it's one thing to be, to hear a word read to you or be able to match a word to something. You can't really replace that human to human interaction that it takes to take that next step in learning a language.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why, you know, a lot of our users, I mean, on average, our users are spending more than 30 minutes per day on average practicing and speaking. So one of the reasons why I wanted to like really work on this product was, wow, like growing up, I spent $3,000 per year just learning English when I was in Korea. And not just me, every single person that I knew, because learning English is an investment. It's for your careers. Um, so when I started talking to English learners on social media, I noticed that there were over 50 million English learners on Facebook alone looking for opportunities to speak. So I joined all these groups and noticed the pattern where they're like, hey, I'm looking for a partner who's available. And they were going to WhatsApp, Skype, or Messenger to practice with one another. But the challenge was when you're available, I'm not available. And even if we get connected, our levels are different. So the experience was not as pleasant. So once we introduced this feature called Insta Match that connects English learners with other English learners, our platform was growing like really quickly. And then once we had a big community, that's when we started bringing native speakers to our platform. So our students can actually pay and have lessons with our native speakers in real time as well.
Wow. Well, Joon, I think it's awesome what you're doing as someone myself who likes to try to mess around and learn new languages. I definitely got to check out Hallo some more. Joon, good luck today on your pitch to Kevin O'Leary, and it was great to have you on the show today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Awesome. All right, guys, that was Joon Bae, the founder of Hallo. Go check that out if you're trying to learn a new language, or maybe if you want to try to help teach some people some English, could be a good way to get some extra work in there. All right, let's keep it ticking. We want to be time efficient here because the founders, again, have to go to Mr. Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful, in less than an hour. Let's bring on Margo from Enrichly next. Let's give Margo our special intro video and get her on the stream. Margo, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I am good. Thank you for taking time out of your busy day to join us. So let's hop straight in.
Yes.
What is Enrichly?
So I'm so happy to be here. But Enrichly, it's a self-esteem based e-learning platform and gaming app for K through 12. So we use things like machine learning, gamification, data automation, and an on-site mental health curriculum for schools to really make self-esteem improvement fun for K through 12.
Okay, so how does this look in practice? You know, like what type of, are teachers using this mostly? Are students using this mostly?
Yeah, so we are sort of two-sided. We send enrichment coordinators into different schools around the nation, and they'll implement our self-esteem curriculum, and that's on site, but they're using our technology. And then parents, they have the option to subscribe, and then they get unlimited access to all of the courses, content, live webinars that we do with like little tween influencers and celebrities, and everything is focused on self-esteem development.
That is awesome. So what was the impetus to start Enrichly? You know, when did you decide to do this?
So I grew up as a little girl with low self-esteem, and that was as a result of my parents. They got married and divorced about 3 different times, and my mom turned to drugs and alcohol to cope with that divorce. So I found myself as this kid making really bad decisions. So one of the core reasons for a child developing low self-esteem is either due to a traumatic childhood loss or due to a parent having substance abuse issues. So I had experienced like all of the above. So I was making really bad decisions, hanging with the wrong crowd. And then one day I decided I don't want these decisions to define me. And I joined the military. So it was there where I developed a sense of self-discipline, morals, values, and my self-esteem really flourished. So, you know, I went into corporate America, but it was not for me. I really wanted to create a solution for a problem that I had as a kid because I knew that that problem was preventing other people from realizing their full potential and really reaching their full potential. So when you think of like these personal development speakers like Brian Tracy or even Napoleon Hill, they always talk about self-esteem development being the core to anyone's development. And there aren't any solutions for someone to solely focus on their self-esteem. And that's where my platform sort of came into play.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's a beautiful story, Margo, because I think a lot of times founders that have something that they went through personally, and that's why they created the company that they created, you know, they have the most passion, the most drive around that idea. So I think it's beautiful what you're doing, and I wish you the best of luck today and just in general with Enrichly and your guys' mission.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, we're like tackling one state at a time, but we're kind of international. We have folks over in Dubai and Saudi Arabia and Brazil using our platform. So self-esteem is sort of like a universal thing.
Right. Around the world, people need, we need to be focusing on mental health and self-esteem and all that. So
Yeah.
Margo, again, thanks for coming on the show today. I'd love to have you back on the show anytime you have updates or anything, any new news to share us with about Enrichly.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Of course. All right. Again, good luck today with Mr. Wonderful. I've met him before. He's nice. Don't be nervous.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's keep it rolling. That was Margo from Enrichly. Go check that out at enrich.ly. I'll drop that link in the chat. Maybe you know someone that could benefit from Enrichly's services. Let's go ahead and bring on Alex Blum, the founder of Applied BioPlastics. Really cool kind of ESG company there. So we'll talk to Alex, see about what they're doing. Let's give Alex our special intro on Benzinga Live. Mr. Blum, how you doing today?
Doing great. How are you?
Good. All right. So let's get straight into it. Applied BioPlastics. Who are you? What do you guys do?
So I'm Alex Blum, co-founder of Applied BioPlastics, where we reduce the carbon footprint of durable plastic goods. So essentially, we're commercializing proven technology to produce a blend of plant fibers and plastic that reduces the carbon footprint of the final material by between 10 and 60%. Our feedstock matches regular plastic on price and performance and doesn't require any equipment changes to adopt. So it's compatible with all standard resins, all bioplastic resins, all recycled resins, and addresses the largest segment of plastics, which is durable plastic goods, which is a segment that's not really solved or served by circular economy initiatives that are primarily trying to reduce trash. So we're able to use a wide variety of plant fiber from all over the world, from intentionally farmed, to agricultural waste streams, to even invasive plant species. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We've built upon 17 years of research to deliver a feedstock that's entering acceptance testing with more than 30 major household brands over the next 3 months, which represents a revenue pipeline exceeding $300 million.
Yeah, and this sounds like you guys are doing a lot of cool things. And I'm curious, Alex, so I know you are not, a Marvel villain, but I'm going to ask anyway, what is your origin story? What is Applied BioPlastics' origin story? Yeah,
so, in 2017, I was a SaaS salesman. So, for all the salesmen out there watching this, it is possible to go start your own business. Essentially, I had a very large commission check, closed the entire quota in the first 2 months of the year, and decided as a 27-year-old, after paying off all my millennial debts, as I'm sure is relatable, that I wanted to do one big thing, one big good deed, and then go right back to my life selling software. So I decided to give the remaining $250,000 of my commission check to charity. That is, when I was researching what to do with that, I ran into an event called the Rohingya genocide, which in Myanmar, they decided to kill 3 million people, because they wanted to build an oil pipeline through their land. So I decided to take a trip to Bangladesh to see what I could do to help the refugees who had fled there. While doing that, I ended up filming a documentary in the world's largest refugee camp that went on to win, an award at the World Fest International in Houston, got picked up by Amazon. Anyways, while I was there, I was introduced to a scientist who had developed a material that I thought was really neat. It's right here. Sorry about the sounds there. If this looks like burlap and resin, that's because it is. But the neat part about it is that sample's 20 years old, and it's like 80% plant matter. How's that possible? He managed to preserve the cellulose fibers in there, and that gave me this awesome idea. I was just like, man, you could use this to house millions and millions of people in disaster resistant circular economy, green housing that's more dignified than like a refugee's tent, right? So I asked him if he would work with me. He said, absolutely not. We've just met today. And I said, okay, cool. Can I have some samples? Anyways, long story short, I took the samples to some folks that were kind of the authorities on bioplastics. They said, if you could convert this from a thermoset resin to a thermoplastic, this could change the world of manufacturing. So not knowing enough to know that was going to be really hard, I hired a bunch of scientists and a team around myself, and it took us 2 years, but we created out of that invention this invention. And if you're worried about the original inventor, he actually works for us, works with us. We purchased the patent from him, and because I could not just let this material sit, we're actually building refugee camps in Bangladesh using this material. I'm really honored to be able to do this. We're hoping to house 2 to 3 million people over the next 5 years with that technology, while also helping manufacturers reduce their carbon footprint substantially when they're manufacturing plastic.
Wow. I mean, I don't think you need to tell me, but that's an incredible, or I don't think you need me to tell you, but that's an incredible story. Alex, honestly, I'd love to get you back on the show sometime. We have some more time to hear more about it, because I'm very interested in documentary filmmaking myself. I'm curious, about that process, everything that went into that, that whole process. So, Alex, good luck today with Mr. Wonderful, with Kevin O'Leary. Good luck with everything you are doing at Applied Bioplastics. That's a great mission, and I wish you guys all the luck in the world.
Thanks so much for having me. I'll be happy to come on anytime.
Of course. All right. I'll reach out to you after today.
Sounds great. See you then.
All right, guys, that was Alex Blum, Applied Bioplastics. Incredible story there. I mean, anytime that you are, you end up founding a company while trying to do something great and able to do something good for the environment while running a company, that's checks both boxes in my book. But let's keep it ticking. I said we were going to try to finish this up in 25 minutes. That means we got to get the next 2 in 7 minutes. Let's go ahead and bring on Abiodun Johnson next from GeoForce. Let's go ahead and bring him on. Before we start, I know it's GeoCloud and not GeoForce. I just wanted to make sure you were paying attention.
Yes, we're bringing the force.
We're GeoCloud bringing the force. I love it. How are you doing today, Mr. Johnson?
Doing good. Thank you for having me here.
Well, let's go ahead and get right into it. What is GeoCloud? What do you guys do?
Yes, GeoCloud is a near-me search platform where we're basically creating customized location-based experiences for consumers, businesses, and government organizations. So our first product we just launched is a UGeo app, and basically it's a geo-social network that allows you to live locally and engage with your community in real time. So with UGeo, you can find events, places, groups, and also friends all in one app, right? So we're helping people become geocloud.co. We're helping people basically get more engaged with their community and being aware of what's happening around them and being able to find everything locally.
Beautiful. So what so far has been kind of, what's the next step for you guys in terms of taking that next step from where GeoCloud is at today to where hopefully investors will hope the company's at in the next year or two?
Yeah, so with our UGeo app, we're doing pretty good in terms of traction. We have currently over 11,000 users. We're hoping in next year we can scale that to 100,000 sign up local businesses who are looking to advertise on our platform, and also have a few government agencies as well, leveraging our technology to basically enhance their community engagement initiatives and providing a platform that can foster that.
Beautiful. And so how did you decide to start this company?
So the kind of beginning of this process, or the idea for GeoCloud, is just as growing up in my life, I always moved around a lot. Born in Memphis, moved to Lagos when very young, moved to a couple cities, and then eventually went to Dartmouth. There was always a need to basically become a local, right? Always a stranger in those places, and having to get involved in new communities, and just thinking about better ways to allow people to do that, right? A lot more efficiently, a lot more effective, to basically feel at home wherever they are, right? So whether you're in your city and you're looking to explore, or you're traveling to a new city and you're looking to connect with the locals. We help you turn visitors into hyper locals. So that's kind of the impetus on the idea of what we're creating and what led us to build this out.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Mr. Johnson, but the way I see this, and with the UGO app, it's like social media was started with the idea that to connect us, to connect people, and in a lot of ways, it's done the exact opposite, where it's brought us further apart. Whereas something like this will kind of, really provide the real social benefits that were supposed to come with social media apps in terms of connecting in real life and connecting with people, but using our modern technology to do so.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head.
All right. So I got it. All right. I wanted to make sure I wasn't super off base there.
No, you're good.
All right, Mr. Johnson. Well, any final words for us today before you go and pitch Mr. Wonderful, Mr. Kevin O'Leary himself?
Yes, download the app, UGO app. You can check it out at ugo.app. It's on both iOS and Android, and share with your communities. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Johnson. Well, good luck today. Good luck with UGO in the future. Hopefully, we'll get to hear more from you soon.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem. All righty, guys. We're actually making pretty good time. It is 11:22 a.m. Eastern here. In about 37 minutes, these same founders that we have spoken to today will go pitch Mr. Wonderful Kevin O'Leary. We do have one more we saved. I got to say, potentially the best name for last, Blerp. We have Mr. Derek Omori, the founder of Blerp, hanging out backstage. Producers, let's roll that intro and get Derek on the show. Derek, how's it going today?
Awesome. Good to be here.
Good to have you. So like I said, I think this has to be my favorite name so far out of any of the companies we have done, Blerp. Sometimes when you hear a company's name, you can get an idea of what they do. Blerp, maybe not one of those companies. Tell us, what is Blerp? What do you guys do?
Yeah, so Blurp is a soundbite sharing platform that's integrated into voice chats, live streams, and really any platform that you want to add a soundbite to. So it's really kind of coming from this new age where TikTok has been able to build on music and soundbites being added onto a video. And Blurp makes it easy to be able to search, create, and share those soundbites. And so we're having a lot of fun by integrating directly into like live streams on Twitch, Discord. Those are our two major integrations today, and reaching about 35,000 daily active users now sharing a Blurp every single day. So it's been a lot of fun building the platform and working with different creators.
So I imagine one of the challenges is getting the licensing rights to some of these sound clips. Is that accurate?
Yeah, so we have two parts of our library. So we have a DMCA free side where all of our, our 500,000 sign-up users are creating their own content, pulling it from YouTube clips, etc. And so that falls under DMCA free. So YouTube clip, Twitch clip, stuff like that. And then we have right here, as you're looking, the premium sound packs. And so we've done collaborations with top creators, voice actors, game voice actors as well, and be able to bring their voice onto the platform. And then you as a user are able to make a one-time purchase to unlock that sound pack. And you can share on your text messages everywhere. So two sides of the library.
Yeah. And so my next question is, have you, and if you have not, or is there like maybe considered this, or maybe sometime in the future, like a cameo type thing where I could pay to have the guy who, is the voice actor for Peter Griffin say like, happy birthday to my friend or something?
That's super fun. I guess the most cameo-like thing we do, we actually have 800,000 followers on our TikTok, and it's one of the primary reasons how we're growing. But in those, we actually say, hey, we're going to work with Uncle Iro. What would you like to have him say? What are the things that you want him to do? And one of his one of his most selling lines right now is him saying, "These nuts," and that was the most requested line on TikTok. So it is kind of funny, but it gets the people kind of involved and interactive with the different content that they're making.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think anytime, users or customers are able to, get that interactive experience. It's something that we'll want them to come back and keep using. So who right now is the primary customer or user of Blurp?
So right now it's primarily focused on live streaming and gaming. And so we work with 50,000 content creators on Twitch who have Blurp integrated, and then their audience of millions are able to then access Blurp's database and oftentimes actually paying to share Blurps live on stream. And so they're the ones creating content, organizing and saving content. But like I said, it creates that flywheel for us where they're experiencing sound sharing and how it's different than sound GIFs, right? And they're using that content and then they want to take it to other platforms. So that's how we create the flywheel.
Got it. So are these streamers typically like loading these sound bites and sound clips up on like a stream deck and then just playing them as they're streaming their normal content?
Yeah, so that's one of the ways. But the primary way right now is an integration that's like an overlay that they would be able to click in. So even, for something like this, a live stream where you could be able to, the viewers be able to click in and share a sound live while we're streaming here on YouTube.
Oh, that's really cool. Well, Derek, I don't know if you have any final words for us before you head over to Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful. How are you feeling? Are you nervous, excited?
Definitely nervous and excited. But yeah, I mean, I guess our last words would be, if you like streaming and you want to add sound content to your platform, check out Blerp. If not, follow us on TikTok and you can see all the awesome content that our content creators are making with Blerp.
Yeah, well, Derek, I know you're going to be busy today, but I might need to hit you up off the stream because obviously we're streaming all day, all the time. We're always looking for new ways for more sound bites, more interactive experiences for our users. So love what you're doing.
We love that. Thanks so much.
No problem. All right, y'all. That was Derek over from Blurp. We talked to some great companies today in a lot of different industries, from e-learning, from new language learning, from software, to sound bites, to bioplastics. So I would just want to give my final, good luck to all the founders out there today. Thank you for joining us today on Benzinga Live. I know myself and I think our audience too really appreciated hearing your guys' stories, hearing what your companies do. So I'm excited. I'm sure some of our audience will pop over in a half hour or so to watch you guys pitch Mr. Wonderful. And shout out to Start Engine as well for putting on such a cool competition. That is the 5 founders pitch competition. I'm dropping that link in the chat right now. All right, guys. So look, that put us right on track. It's about 11:30 a.m. Eastern when we would typically be starting the show. So now let's get into how we would typically start the show by just checking in on how the overall market is doing. Been a pretty good day so far. I haven't been watching the markets as closely as I normally am just because I've been busy. Caught my flight back from Detroit to St. Louis this morning, got all set up with my at-home setup. Was prepping for that segment with with the different founders with the Start Engine. So let's do the quick check-in on the overall markets. S&P 500 is up 1.04%. Your Qs, looking at big tech, up about 1 3/10%. And the Dow Industrial Average, DIA, that is your grandparents' favorite index, up only about 7.73%, excuse me. So tech your leader today, SPY in the middle, Dow lagging a little bit behind. Let's check in on Bitcoin, up about 1.6%. So pretty good rebound day for crypto. Let's keep it ticking. Let me know in the chat what stocks you guys are watching. And let me know in the chat, give us some feedback on that segment. I thought it was cool to talk to some different founders, some different startups. We typically don't get a lot of startup love on this show. So I thought it was great to bring on some of those founders. All right. I'm giving y'all a delay in the chat because I want to see what stocks you guys are watching today. Checking on Tesla. I wonder how Tesla's doing today. Wow. Great day for Tesla. Up almost 4%, 722. So I've been watching Tesla, and here's what I've been seeing on the chart recently, just because we're looking at it on this on a daily chart. We've been in this range. Until we break this range right here, which is from about 790, but we can call it 800 if you'd like, down here to about, we'll call it 630. until we break one of those levels either way, I'm not very much convicted on a directional trade here. I could see us just bouncing in this range until we either break lower or higher. And that may very well come when the company reports earnings on July 20th. Patrick Canoe, watching you. What up, YouTube? YouTube. All right. Well, I guess you guys aren't watching any stocks today. That's okay. I'll just have us run through the stocks that I'm watching then. Check in on our good buddy over there at Netflix, up about 1.7%. Here's one we haven't checked out in a while. Callaway Golf, ELY, up about 4% as well. So Callaway is interesting to me for a few different reasons. One is its Topgolf, which Topgolf. So Callaway bought Topgolf, or at least the majority of Topgolf, during COVID at a huge discount. And what I've noticed is that Topgolf's, like, I'd be shocked if you told me that the Topgolf by my place here in St. Louis doesn't make a ton of money, because it is packed so much so to the point where people will wait there for an hour just to get to play Topgolf. And while they're waiting there for an hour, they're buying like $8 beers the whole time. So I like Topgolf. I like Callaway for that Topgolf catalyst. And the other reason why I like Callaway here is because if we head into a recession, Callaway stock will probably go down with the overall market, like basically all other stocks will. But if you think about who Callaway's main customer is, people who golf, typically, have a little bit more money than the average consumer. So there might be a little bit more insulation there from recession risks, where if we do have a downturn in the economy, the people who buy new clubs every year, chances are they're still going to be able to afford new clubs. Will Callaway have some customers who, okay, on a down year, they're not going to buy a new driver like they typically would? Sure. But for the most part, Callaway will have a more resilient consumer than other brands. So I like Callaway here. Oh, I'm seeing Jason in the chat. What up, Jason? Jason's saying he loves Callaway too. Jason, I think I've been holding Callaway for a while, but I'm ready to up my position. I'm looking at this chart now. Now's the time I want to get in. We hit some lows down here. And if it breaks down a little bit further, fine. I want to hold this for the long term. So I'm going to buy some Callaway here. 2107. I'm calling it a buy. I'm buying Callaway here. Let's keep it ticking. Let's go from Callaway. Let's check in on how Garmin is doing, because Garmin was another stock that had a potential golf play with its. Garmin was putting out a launch monitor that kind of was competing with TrackMan. And so Garmin's interesting too. And it looks like this stock's been in a downtrend, been beaten up. So I haven't done any DD on this one. Like I was looking at Callaway over the past week or so. But I will check out Garmin and get a report back to you guys, see if we like this for the long term, And then BTU. Ooh. No wonder people were asking about this one today. Up 10%. So Peabody Energy, we're looking at a daily chart here. Peabody Energy is one of the biggest coal miners and producers in the country. So it's basically your biggest coal company, pure coal play. This stock has had an incredible run in 2022, up more than 100%. You can see from the chart here. Let's go back to July of last year, July 21. We were at $11 a share. We are now at $20 a share. But as you can see, the stock's gotten beaten up over the past week or so, and this has come as the whole energy market has just taken a hit. We'll pull up XLE. Gas prices are now down 22 days in a row, the longest losing streak or the longest consecutive downturn in gas prices since the beginning of COVID. So a lot of these oil stocks have come down 20-30% just in the past 2 weeks. This is the XLE, the Select Sector Fund for Energy from Spider. And what's interesting to me here is energy is still by far your best performing sector of 2022. If you're asking me, Aaron, is this a buying opportunity here? The answer comes down to where do you think the odds are that we have a true recession? Because if you think we're having a true recession, then oil prices will continue to come down. stocks like Chevron, stocks like ExxonMobil will continue to come down, will continue to give up these gains. But if you think the overall economy is going to be okay, then these stocks are buys because, you know, even though oil prices have come down from $130 a barrel down to 100, they're still going to remain elevated. The prices are still going to remain higher than they typically would because of everything going on around the world, Russia and Ukraine, supply chain issues, everything going on in Europe. So those prices will remain higher as long as you don't have that crushing demand that would come with a full recession, right? Let's zoom back. Let's look at weekly charts here and zoom back and look at Chevron stock in 07, 08. At the top right before, you know, so in May and 08, we were at $105 a share and it came all the way down to 54. So almost a 50% drawdown in 08. So if you're thinking, okay, it's, you know, we're for sure heading to a recession, but I still want my money invested, I'm going to buy Chevron, I'm not going to buy Apple because we're heading to a recession. Probably not the smartest move, right? Because oil, I mean, think about it. People aren't traveling as much. People aren't working as much. People aren't driving as much. There's just a huge demand crush in recessionary times for oil. But I'm more in the camp where I think the stock market, I think we can, you know, continue to see some pain here over the next couple of weeks. I don't know if we've bottomed out, but I don't really, and I have said this repeatedly on the show, I don't really buy the whole we're heading to an 07, 08 recession. There's not really a lot of economic data that backs that up. And honestly, looking at from what I've seen over the past month or so, it does look more and more likely that we are going to see inflation come down, and we'll see that reflected in the economic data coming out over the next couple months. So knock on wood, because I hope that's the case. I'm sick of paying, you know, $4.80 or $5 a gallon for gas too. You know, we're all feeling that inflation, whether it's at the gas pumps, at the grocery stores. And so, you know, I'm hopeful that we can, even if the markets, remember, you got to remember the stock market and the economy are two different things. They're correlated, and there will be a connection there, but they're not always just lock and foot tandem. So, you know, just because the market's down doesn't mean we're going to see this huge 07, 08 recession. We'll get jobs numbers tomorrow, which could be a good indication. And I don't even know for you know, if we're just looking at the S&P 500 for the jobs numbers, if the jobs numbers is too good, the market could move lower, because that could mean that traders are saying, oh, that means that the Fed can keep raising rates, or maybe even raise them even faster. Whereas if we see the jobless numbers or the jobs numbers coming well below, then we could say, okay, they're raising rates too fast. You know, it's slowing down the economy. Maybe they need to give it a break, and maybe stocks would be up. So I have no clue like what the jobs numbers, if that is going to be good or bad for the markets tomorrow. Let's catch up on the chat real quick. Yeah, oil does not equal gas, Shelly. I understand that. If oil goes back up, it's going to crush the markets again. Yeah, I mean, I disagree with that, Brian, just in the sense, just if it would depend on why oil is going up. You know, if oil is going up because the fears of a recession are seen as not as likely, then that would be good news for equities, good news for stocks. If oil's going up because of other reasons, and, you know, like what we saw in the past where every sector would be, you know, what we've seen in the past couple months on a lot of days where the overall markets would be down, but energy would be up, that would be bad for stocks. So we shall see. All right, guys, I do see a video we've got loaded up that our wonderful producer, Rohan, was kind enough to get. It is just a replay of some man on the street content. So I want to go ahead and get that ticking, because I have to go find my laptop charger. I think I have one here. If not, we could be in some trouble. So, all right, let's play a little bit of this video. And then here in about 5 minutes, we will bring Mr. Steve Kalasian on from Trade Easy. We'll be seeing what Steve's been looking at. We'll be seeing you know, if he's got any good levels, because I don't know if you guys recall, but last week Steve hit the nail on the head with his trade last Thursday. So excited to talk to Steve today.
Bree here, coming to you live from Michigan, Detroit.
Gonna go ask some people on the street about the non-tokens. NFTs, baby! Let's go out and get to it. Coming to you live. What does NFT stand for?
I don't know.
Noon, fight, and tacos.
Close, close. Can you take any guesses of what NFT stands for?
Newfound theory.
That's a good guess, but it is incorrect. Excuse me, y'all. What do y'all think about NFTs? This picture of a rock. So this is an NFT right here. How much do you think this sold for?
$10,000.
Higher.
30,000.
Higher.
100,000.
Higher.
700,000.
Higher.
2 million.
1.3 million.
What did he say?
For a picture of a rock.
For a picture of a rock.
Okay.
That's just a stupid boulder.
Picture of a rock.
It's not just a boulder. It's a rock.
Can I get an N? NFTs? NFTs? Some party that is. Anything you got to say about NFTs?
I think they're the future. I think they're gonna take. I'm high, but it's gonna take a currency and make it easier for the people to use, and that would make a more universal. Yeah.
Can you guys believe the NFTs the kids are doing these days?
Yeah, what about them?
NFTs?
Yeah. Uh-huh. What about them?
CryptoPunks or Bored Apes?
Whatever you want, man.
NFTs? NFT.
What's NFT?
It's the art, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know nothing about it.
The NFTs.
NFTs?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you about the NFTs. My name is Master McCullough. I don't know what the NFTs are.
NFTs, baby. Everyone loves them. Ask some drivers if they want to race Rohan for his pink slip.
NFT?
Yeah, NFT.
What is NFT?
You tell me, what do you think it stands for? Quick.
I don't know.
N.
No.
F.
Friends.
T.
There.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Bored Apes or CryptoPunks?
Both.
There you have it. How about the NFTs?
Oh, I've been hearing that a lot, man. I'm trying to make some money off it too. I don't know how it worked though. I heard I need a computer or something to use it.
Sir, do you like the NFTs? All right, so I have a feeling if we redid that video, more people would know what NFTs are, but the value of those NFTs when we were doing the game where I was having people guess the value would be a lot lower. That was a while ago. Pick up a Coney dog. Yeah, we're right next to American and Lafayette. It's very controversial because people in Detroit will ask you which one you like more out of the two, and I don't really have an answer. I don't know. All right, guys, about 15 till noon. You know what time it is. That means it's almost time for us to bring on my man, Steve Collation. And we will be talking about what he's been trading, what he's been looking at. Again, seeing if he's got any levels today. I mean, look, I don't know. I don't even know what to think. These markets, the market has been resilient this week. Really, the past 2 weeks. I mean, we've had, whoa. I mean, I hope that's not a real candle. My SPY just went from up 1% to down 2 point. Oh, okay. That wasn't real print. We're all good. We're all good. But really, I mean, we had that one big red day on a couple weeks ago, June 28th, SPY down 2%. But outside of that, I mean, we've had some good price movement. I mean, look at this. So from an overall standpoint, I mean, shoot, like I still don't think the bottom's in. Like I would be surprised if we don't come back and retest these lows. But until we get near there, shoot, I mean, we're kind of well off those lows now at this point. We hit 364 on the S&P. We're at 387 right now. So we've got a ways to fall back to those lows. Let's see what our next guest, Steve, thinks. Mr. Kalajian, how you doing?
Hey, Aaron. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
So how are you feeling about this market? We've seen a couple green days in a row. Are you feeling bullish?
Well, basically these are great times, great volatility in the markets right now, and we bounced off that 36.42. We pushed up. Market's consolidating, but we have a excuse me, a ton of overhead resistance here. We should get a really great buy here. Well, we had buys all morning. Today was a trending day for us, and we had some really good buy pullbacks here around the 10:20, 10:30 time period. And now I'm just looking for a really great setup between now and 2 o'clock off the 15 that should propel the S&Ps above the 3,900 level.
Okay, so you are looking for a bullish move here for the rest of the day.
Oh, yeah, we're in a trending day here. I don't see a reversal. Normally, the way I teach and what my software, and I show people that use it all around the world, we have, either you have a trend days, which is one of the days here like today, or you have a buy or a sell reversal day. And then combined of those two types of strategies, a trend or a buy or a sell reversal, you'll always have buy or sell divergences attached to either one of them. So we caught some really good sell divergences today. We caught some really great buy divergences, but the trend is up. So today I'm looking for a really great pullback here, probably by 2. No, I don't think any later than 2:30. We should get this really nice push down and then an enormous push up above the 3,900, maybe 3,905, 3,908 on the close.
So, I mean, you've been in the markets for a while, Steve. What do you have anything you think's been causing this? I'm not going to call it a rally, but I guess I don't have a better term, kind of rally we've seen over the past couple of weeks.
Well, so August 1st, I'll be here. I'll be in the industry for 39 years. So it's a very long time. But one thing I maintain, and I tell everybody on my channel each and every day, that bear market rallies are more vicious than bull market rallies, right? And so when we get these extreme, oversold conditions, and you rip a day or 3 later to the upside, it's just short covering rallies, and but overall the trend is down here, and I don't think we've seen the lows. I think we're far from seeing the lows here. My projection could be as low as 32.50 on the S&Ps, if not 28.50 in the next 6 months. Or maybe within the next 9 months, actually. I do think seasonalities are going to take into focus come the fourth quarter. But again, I think that, it all predicates off interest rates, right? So the Federal Reserve mandate was 2%, and they just completely ignored the fact that inflation was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9%. And they just never did anything to raise the Fed funds rate. I tell people all the time, being in the industry as long as I've been, when the Dow was at 10,000, 10.5, Fed funds rates were 4.5%, 5%. Now you have a Dow almost, 3 times from where it was like 15, 18, 20 years ago. You have a Fed funds here at 1.5%, and we were at 0 to a quarter for the longest period. And when you had the highest inflation in 40 years, you had a Dow north of 37,000. So there was nothing was clicking here. So when the S&Ps were on the 47.90 and the 47.50, 48.10, I was just telling people very close to me, get into cash. I just see a real sharp drop, and then I got a big sell signal around the 45.50 on the S&Ps, and we never look back.
Yeah, and I mean, I agree. I mean, I think there's just so much going on right now that people don't know. It would be nice, I think, to see if we do get some confirmation that we could have seen peak inflation. That would give some investors some hope that maybe the Fed doesn't have to raise rates as fast as they've been planning on it to battle that sky high inflation. So I think that will be one of the things that we're looking at the most going forward. Is just the inflation and how that will allow the Fed to decide what they're doing.
Well, interest rates should just be, the 30-year bond market really just sets the price of interest rates, really, right? So it should just be normalcy. I've always been a proponent that, the market should just be independent without any, guidance from, monetary policies or anything like that. So if you look at it, you saw oil hit a low around 94.5, 95 a couple of days ago, actually yesterday, I believe, right? So what are you seeing here? You're seeing commodity prices getting absolutely cabooshed here, right? And they're telling you in the commodities market that we're going to go into a recession, because you cannot, the commodity prices will always lead, right? And the commodity prices are telling you that they're seeing an economic slowdown coming. So even though there's high inflation, commodity prices are going to just fall just as hard with the equity markets and going forward.
Yeah, and so I see someone in the chat saying Russia is easing on the oil front, so possible to see oil continue coming down. So what have you been trading? Just the overall market, like SPY or Qs, or you've been trading specific stocks? I know you have a certain number of stocks that you watch every day.
Yeah, so I trade the indexes a lot, the ETFs, and occasionally I'll get into when on extremes like Apple, Microsoft, and names like that. I look at the same names every single day: the Squares, the Microsofts, all the big cap stocks, Metas, Apple, Tesla, Amazon. Amazon phenomenal after the split. Look at Goldman, Boeing, like I said, Roku, AMD, Micron. All the big cap names, all the big names. We look at the same names every single day. It's just the monster volume stocks where you can get in and get out with good size on. When people start trading these names. So I'm a proponent. I don't jump around. I don't go to Shopify one day and I don't go to DuPont another day. We look at the same names every single day here.
Yeah, and I've just got the Qs pulled up on a 5-minute chart here. So give me one of the stocks or indexes you've been watching the most today. And I'm curious again, just on some levels on where, because I know you said by 2 p.m. you were looking for a trade setup, but where those levels could be.
So basically, let's see, where we got down. I like to see if the S&Ps can get down to the 75, 75, 83 range. The NASDAQ, let's see. I'd like to see the NASDAQ get down to maybe around the 12,000, 15, 20, down to the 11,990 level, something like that. And I think that pullback's going to be really healthy, and I'm going to have a gigantic buy divergence signal that should propel them to new highs on the day.
Got it. And then as far as your longer term strategy, so here, we're still, let me go out from a 5-minute chart to a daily, zoom out a little bit. We're still about 20% off our highs, even with this little bounce that we've gotten. Do you expect there to be more pain in the markets just in the coming months, or do you think that potentially we've seen the bottom from a month ago or so?
I think any rallies are going to be met with a stone wall. Look at the chart you're bringing up here. This is a staggering amount of overhead resistance. It's like going through a glacier right there, right? I think the low's not in any means here. You really don't have any support for another 300-400 points lower on the S&P. So I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow or overnight, but I think it's going to be a gradual push up, make lower highs, push down, make new lows, push up, make lower highs, push down, make new lows. I think it's going to be eventually, then it's going to be a basing pattern for a period of time. And then you'll probably get to the level sometime in 2023, maybe the end of 2023, early 2024, where they're going to have to start cutting rates.
Yeah. And so I love that, Steve, that you're from your, more long-term view is more bearish, that any rallies can be met with a stone wall. We've got, a lot of resistance to break through there, but you're still bullish today and you're still playing these rallies because, like you said, sometimes you get the most harsh rallies in bear markets. So, I think it's always impressive to see a trader like yourself that's able to kind of balance that more, I guess, holistic view of where the market's going versus, all right, what's happening today? How am I going to trade today?
Yeah, because the software I built and everything gives me the ability to identify, intraday moves, intermediate term moves, or long-term moves, right? So right now, we're looking at based on my software and everything that I use and everybody else uses around the world, that everything we're doing is we're taking the strategies that go with what I'm teaching, and we're just compounding our returns on a daily basis. We're getting moves here, or sell divergences. Microsoft drops $1.50, Tesla drops, we got big buy reversals then. So we're able to trade the market based upon the technology and the software I created and based upon the strategies that go along with it. So yeah, you have to trade what you see, and I always say trade them. That's my favorite word, trade them. And I'm not a believer in buy and hold. I'm a believer in being able to compound your returns on a daily basis. I know it's not for everybody. A lot of people don't have the time. They have full-time jobs, but I'm seeing a vast amount of people from around the world really loving and the idea of learn to day trade. They may not be able to do it now, but they may want to do it in the future, or they take what I'm teaching them to do the overnight sessions in the futures markets. But I have a lot of people who now work from home, Aaron, and they stream me on their phones and they listen and they make their trades in the various different aims that we're in. So, today we had a monster buy signal on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and just never look back. And we're going to get another push up here really soon on both of them, probably between now and 1 o'clock. But, to me, it's about, taking the technology, the software, and then being able to teach it and let people be able to understand why this is going to happen. It's all based upon technical analysis that I built. I don't look at fundamental analysis at all. And we just want people to be consistent each and every day, and just at the end of the day, just be profitable. And that's what I teach.
Yeah, and I think that's great, because so many people out there are trying to hit these home runs and they end up blowing up their accounts, where you're really trying to teach, and your system is really trying to implement a way that's going to be more, you're going to be more able to do that systemically, and like you said, profit day in and day out.
Yeah, so basically I use a lot of baseball analogies all the time. So I'd rather be a Pete Rose or a Rod Carew than be a home run hitter like a Dave Kingman, strike out 450, 500 times a year. I'd rather just be consistent, go for the singles and the doubles. And then at the end of the day, you make it $300,000, $500,000, whatever, or maybe more. There's some people really do very, very well with a little bit bigger accounts. And there are people who are just beginners, and there are people who just have $1,000 in our account, and I just try to tell them, try to make the $50 to $100 a day, and then grow the accounts and just be consistent. So it's a great joy at this stage of my life to be able to teach people, and I hear from people all around the world. I have numbers out there to the whole world, so I'm just really very blessed, and I love the community that we're building. I love the people's interactions, and it's great.
Well, there we go. I've got that link in the chat, tradeez.com. So if you want to go check out more from Steve, if you want to learn more about his strategy, go there. Steve, always great to get your insights and see what you're watching today.
Thanks, Aaron. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks again, Aaron.
No problem. See you next week.
See you. Bye-bye.
All right, guys, that was Mr. Steve Kalasian joining us every Thursday at around noon Eastern. Join us a few minutes early today. Guys, smash the like for Steve. Let me know in the chat what stocks y'all are watching today. I've just been watching the overall markets, the S&P 500, the Qs. Look, shit, guys. Frick, the trend's your trend. Like, the market's going to do what it's going to do. It's been going up. It's going to keep going up. Until when? I don't know. Until it feels like not going up anymore. So we'll try to find out when that is. Maybe buy some puts, or maybe, just wait for that little pullback and then go long again. Because shit, inertia, things in motion stay in motion. Let me see. Ooh, I think we've got a surprise special guest gonna join us. I gotta go ahead and find. Okay, Jay DeRoma is watching Moderna. Let's check out Moderna. So this is an interesting company to me, because I know we've got people out there in the chat that are very much technical traders that trade the charts. I like looking at the charts as a clue of when a good entry point would be. But when I'm looking for potential investments, like when I'm buying stock of a company I want to hold for a while, I do a little bit more fundamental research. But Moderna is one of these stocks where fundamental research is almost like virtually impossible right now because the numbers are just so skewed. I mean, if you look at anything from like the price to sales or PE, it looks so cheap, but you have to take into account that Moderna was doing quarters, last year when the vaccines were rolled out that it probably won't be doing for a while. I still like Moderna long term. Does that mean that it's like the best time to buy right now and it's a great investment? No. It could be. I don't know. I'm just saying that, it'll take a while, I think, for Moderna to get back to some of those numbers, if ever. So even though, while it may look cheap, it doesn't necessarily, might not be the absolute cheapest stock right now. All right, guys. Jade Aroma's watching Moderna. Let me know in the chat. See what anyone else is watching. Andy, why? How much is his chat room? I don't know, but you can go check it out at tradeeasy.com. Figure it out. Shelly, that's not nice. I don't know where you were raised, but you can be nicer than that. I know you can. Oh, I see my boy Zunaid hanging out backstage. Let's bring Zunaid on.
What's going on, man?
What's going on with you, Zunaid?
Is Shelly being mean?
I don't know.
Hey, hold on a second. You're back home.
I am back home.
I recognize your wall. As creepy as that sounds.
Yeah, it's my first time, I think, joining back on the shows from like back home since when I was doing it every day.
Yeah, I remember, dude. I remember when I first met you on Benzinga, you were trading, or not trading, but streaming from there. But that's awesome, dude. Hope everything's all right. You just go back home for fun, or?
Yeah, everything's good. I appreciate it.
Because I was like, tomorrow's a quarterly meeting and you're at home. I don't know what's going on, but.
Yeah. Quarterly meeting tomorrow. I will have to be joining virtually. I don't think I'll be able to make it back in person by then.
I got you, pal. What, you got a farm behind you? I see. Like, what is that? Trees? Leaves?
Dude, keep guessing. Keep guessing.
I feel like it's just grass.
No, it's something.
You growing something?
It's something.
You growing weed?
No, I'm kidding. It's you'll actually think this is cool. Wait, let me try to move my laptop a little bit so you can see this. Oh, it's bamboo.
Oh, no way. Dude, that's sick.
Yeah. How far down was bamboo on your guesses?
You know what? I don't even think it was a part of it. I don't think it was on my list. It wasn't on my bingo card.
List?
It wasn't on my bingo card for sure.
All right. Well, Zunaid, I was just gonna say I see another friend hanging out. We got to bring on
Luke?
Mr.
What
Hot
up?
Stock
What's going
Luke
on?
Himself.
Are we ripping stocks today?
We are ripping stocks. So
I'm ready to go all
BBBY.
in.
Bad Did we talk about that already?
No, we have not talked about that today. We've talked about it. We've talked about it this week. I've got Moderna pulled up right now. Let's pull up BBBY.
It's hot.
Holy
and I missed
shit.
it.
Up
I know.
27?
I missed it. I pitched it in our. So we do at Benzinga. We do an editorial stand up every single day, and
Yeah.
I pitched 3 stocks to make sure that we covered today. This is one of them. I didn't hit it from the trade angle, but God, is that hot?
So is this
It's basically it's insider buying.
Okay, short. So not short squeeze, but insider buying.
No, there might be short squeeze going on too.
Well, you're saying that what triggered it though was insider buying, is what you're saying?
Yeah, so triggered is insider buying. But go to benzinga.com/quote/BBBY on your computer if you don't mind, Aaron Bree.
Benzinga.com/quote-BBBY
//
/BBBY.
Bravo, Yankee.
Can we do?
Let's play out with Zunaid's thesis, or maybe it was yours. But click on that short interest tab. Whoever said short interest.
That would be AB.
Was AB? Okay. Yeah, I mean it's been growing.
Wait, okay.
Short interest has basically been increasing for 3 months.
It looks like it increased from the 10th as well. Scroll down a little bit. You'll see on June 10th it was about 22. Okay, well, easy there, pal. Go back up.
Yeah, Jesus.
It looks like on June 10th it was 22 million shares, and then it went up in 18 days. Another 2 million, 2.5.
I'm saying like basically since April 12th, it's been on the creep.
Yeah, and in this past month or so, like what I've noticed is people on Twitter and on FinTwit have just been talking more and more about how oh, like Bed Bath and Beyond is going bankrupt, like this company is screwed, yada yada yada, like this store is closing, whatever. And when that happens, like people just pile into the short trade. And you can see that here. Like it's not just, it doesn't have to always all be institutional shorting. Like it could be retail people buying, shorting as well. So interesting. I didn't know we had the whims on here, Luke. We're giving away our whims for free on this on the site.
We have, I would argue, the best quote pages on the internet right now.
But that's like, this is like the best, the most well kept secret in finance, that you can come here for free and get the whims.
Yep, I think we have the most useful pages on the internet. They're fast too.
That is the goal.
Let's steer this to fundamentals for a second. So Bed Bath and Beyond. I don't follow the stock super closely. So Zunaid gut check me.
All right.
But basically the thesis for this stock, the reason why people own it is because of expectation of future sales growth. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, you always want to take a look ahead and see, and you also want to compare it to what other companies within the same market is. But yes, it's a short answer, yes.
Yeah. And so like when I'm doing stock picking from more of a fundamental perspective, like I'm just taking a quick look at the numbers on Bed Bath and Beyond right now. And the stock is like stupid cheap from a fundamental perspective. So price to sales ratio, that's one that we talk about in these segments. S&P 500 average is maybe like 3.5, somewhere around there. What would you guess the price to sales ratio is on Bed Bath and Beyond?
You said 3.5 is the normal?
S&P 500 average.
3.5. So I would go ahead and say, based on the context you gave, I'll go with 1.7.
Decent guess. Probably where I would have guessed.
It's
AB?
lower than that? Oh, AB, you can guess.
I saw what this is saying on here, but this seems like ridiculously low. 0.05.
Wait,
yeah,
no
I'm getting 0.07.
What?
But okay.
So two things going on here. One is you can't use the ratios like this. Like I talk about the ratios a lot when we're doing stock picking. You can't use the ratios when like the core thesis is sales growth, right? Sales are decreasing and you need a full turnaround of the company, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't just do typical fundamental analysis if that's what the thesis is. You want like a company that already has some slow and steady sales growth.
Yeah.
And then may have a couple triggers. So there's one. Two is that they are loaded with debt. And they're carrying a lot of debt.
Well, yeah, and I think that's the issue too, is that for, even if you're showing growth for a while, if you're taking on more debt while you're growing, and then all of a sudden that growth slows, now you've been piling on debt and growth is slowing.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to pull up. So what was interesting in last month, so in May's CPI report that we got in June, it showed us that some goods were actually coming down. We're actually deflating. And I'm trying to get that pulled up right now. Here, I think we got it. And that main category was like home goods and furniture and appliances and electronics. And that's the same thing Target was saying, is that the consumption mix has just changed. People are buying less home goods now that COVID's over and people aren't spending as much time at home. So if Bed Bath & Beyond sales continue to fall and they have all this debt, I don't think it matters that the stock is cheap. It's not in a position that's going to do well.
Yeah, especially in the retail sector. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember the last time I shopped at Bed Bath & Beyond.
Well, so I wonder
I hate it. We got to crowdsource this one. I feel like people either love shopping there or hate it. For me, it's so overwhelming. I mean, it's just floor to 50-foot ceiling of shit. I mean, that stores are stacked. It's like too overwhelming for me. So I want a 1 in the chat if you like shopping at Bed Bath & Beyond, 2 if you don't. Nothing to do with the stock. Just curious.
Just there's the shopping experience. Is it pleasant for you or not?
And AB mentioned inflation for a second. I think that I actually have a more dovish view on the Federal Reserve actions than the rest of the market. One is I think that pressure is going to be stepped up to keep equity prices stable into midterms. There's going to be, remember the impact that Trump would have on the Federal Reserve? It's not going to be that extreme. It's never going to be that extreme again. but I
Yeah.
think that there will be some there. And then two, a lot of that inflation was driven by oil prices. We've had a really nice sell-off in oil over the past couple sessions. Not today. Today there's a big pop, but over the past several sessions before that, which will make that top line CPI number a little bit better as well.
Yeah. My point in bringing up the CPI number was in that it showed last month's CPI that certain like appliances and like the type of things sold at Bed Bath & Beyond actually got cheaper while other things got more expensive, which to me was just showing, okay, the demand here has dropped off a cliff for home goods. I agree with you, Luke, 100% that, it's, and I think we're going to see a lot of those deflationary pressures across the board, like a lot of goods cheaper. It's just going to be a question of will gas and oil come down? Because that was the biggest driver of at least the past couple months, have been the biggest drivers of inflation. And as that happens, that shifts the conversation, Sinead and Luke. Like, we don't have to be having this conversation about how to fight 8% inflation if we start getting data that shows us inflation isn't that high if gas prices keep coming down. So I agree with you, Luke. And what's really interesting is the bond market agrees with you that they don't buy the Fed's. Let me pull this graph up real quick, and you guys can pull some stocks from the chat or keep talking while I find this graph.
Sure. Well, I want to go ahead and take a look at. So look, Luke, you're sharing your screen. Just heads up.
Who is? I am?
No, whoever just went to Benzinga.
Wait, which was it? Which website was it?
Oh, I don't know about that. But you were just sharing. But you were not going to get fired. Don't worry. It was just Twitter.
Oh, so it wasn't. All right, I was just making sure it wasn't.
Now, don't y'all want to know what he has on his other screen now? I mean, he was
That's
concerned.
why I gave him a heads up.
I was
concerned. Sharing your screen.
I knew it was Twitter, and I was gonna just search for it on Twitter the whole time. I was messing with you guys, but
whatever, pal. Is that a work laptop that Benzinga gave you? Because AT has access to all the websites you visit, right?
Well, it's not, but I'm on Time Doctor, so he still could. But
there you go. Can you imagine? Can you imagine, Luke? You're on Time Doctor, and it says AB was unproductive, and you see what site, and that's the type of site that pops up.
It's just my most visited site on Time Doctor is just an illicit, unnamed site that starts with P.
But look, I mean, I envy how well you can do fundamentals, but I want to talk about the chart here, right? You can see how it's just been under the 5 EMA here. That's what you see, the clouds here, the 5 EMA. That's what it's been under so far. And it's kind of now ticking it. This is the daily that I have on BBBY. To me, if you're looking to go short, not saying you should, but if you were,
now the time.
I think the risk reward wise, it's a solid time because you can have a stop loss right above 6. Because look, you had 6 that was holding support, right? On what is this, the 17th or 16th of June. And obviously we know support turns into resistance support, all that good stuff. So now it's like, if you want to go short, your risk is about 25 to 30 cents. And then it can possibly come down and test $5, which by the way, was a great bouncing area for it in the morning where it kind of, here it is, $5. So you had, this is intraday that I'm going now, but you had a bounce of $5. But yeah, what I'm saying is if you wanted to go short, first off, maybe do it via puts. That way you're not completely screwed if it blows up to the upside. But I like the risk reward. Do you disagree? If you're a fan of technicians, if not, are you going to stick to the fundamentals and
no? It's fair. It's fair. It's
because
fair.
of the cheap ratio.
It's fair. Put on the tight stop loss. There's no reason not to.
Yeah, I mean your stop loss is approximately 30 to whatever cents, and you're hoping to take some profits around 5.30 whatever. Did you find the site, pal?
Yeah, so it's from this. This is a great follow on Twitter if you're into like macro econ stuff. Macro Alf. He's actually coming on the show next week. But he posted this chart. The bond market doesn't believe the Fed anymore. And I don't know if you guys know this, but the fixed income market, like in just terms of how much money there is in the bond markets and fixed income markets on Wall Street, dwarfs the equities market. I mean, it's way bigger than the stock market. It's like the biggest dogs on Wall Street are like in the bond market. I didn't know that until I at least that's what Michael Lewis says in The Big Short. Because I just read that. And so at least that was the case in like 2008. I don't know if that's still the case. But anyway, you can see here. So the green line is the Fed's dot plot where they are saying the federal fund rates are going to be. So 2023, January 2023, the Fed says the fund rates or its plan is to have them at 3.7. And of course, Powell's saying, all right, this is all tentative, subject to change. as we get more data on inflation, whatever, we can change this number around. The bond market is saying the futures are pricing in a funds rate almost a full percentage point below 2020 or below the what the Fed is saying. So Luke, the bond market is agreeing with you, saying you think there will be more pressure for the Fed to stabilize equity prices and stabilize the stock market. So, I'm with you. I'm with the bond market. I'm with Luke that I'm not really buying that the Fed's going to jack up as high as they say they are. But I think I actually think they know what they're doing here, in the sense that by saying it gets people like planning toward that and can actually help inflation and help slow down money just by like saying that crazy. It is actually not a crazy high rate, but it sounds like a crazy high rate.
I mean, when it comes to fundamentals and macros, Luke's the one you want to go with, because that thing just pew over my head all the time.
This is over your head, Zunaid? All right, well,
I'm not going to lie to you. It really is.
Okay.
No, it's not. No.
Okay.
I promise it is, because it just blows my mind, because there's so many things that can impact from the macro side, right? Like oil, futures, this, that, inflation, job numbers, unemployment, all that stuff. I'm like,
no. So Zunaid, this is
the 5-minute chart. That's all I want to look at.
This is good, because this will give us an opportunity. Because if this is over your head, I assume this will be over some people in the audience's head as well. So
let us know in the chat if it's over your head or not.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, for me,
let's just try to break that. Let's just try to break this down very simply, Zunaid, so that so I can get you to try to understand the point.
I'll be your guinea pig. Talk to me. Go
ahead. All right, that the point that Macro Alf was making by sharing this. So basically, the Federal Reserve has been increasing the federal fund rates to try to fight inflation. In doing so, it slows down the money flowing into the stock market, into equities. And so that's why it's just inversely correlated. Rising interest rates, at least in a vacuum, bad for equities. So the bond market here is saying they don't believe the Fed. They're saying, even though the Fed is saying that the rates are going to be this high, 3.7%, we don't believe that. We don't believe they're going to end up raising rates that high, which will end up being bullish for the stock market.
I see.
Or they're saying they're going to have to bring rates that down because we're in like a full-blown recession, which could also be bad for stocks. Either way, the bond market, which is where I would put my money with instead of what the Fed is saying that they're just not buying what the Fed is saying right now. So basically if the bond markets end up being right and the funds rate is down here at 2.8% in 2023, that'd be better news for the stock market than what the Fed is saying right now.
Yeah. So is a good comparison that the Fed is an analyst who upgrades a stock, and the price action says, "Hey, we don't believe you, and we're still going to continue selling this even though you upgraded it." Is that a fair comparison or no?
Kind of, but except for in this case, the Fed has like the power to set like
of course.
The analysts.
No, I think it's fair. I think it's fair.
Yeah, no, of course the power is, that's why they say, right? Like, don't fight the Fed. I wish I listened to them in April and March of 2020. Wouldn't lose my shirt. But I get the power is more within the Fed. But I was just curious if that's kind of the comparison where it's like, hey, yeah, you're saying this stock is worth XYZ, or you're saying this is where the bond rate will be, but we don't believe you and we're going to go ahead and sell.
Yeah, and again, and the Fed and Powell has said, look, this is our plan. Doesn't mean it's 100% going to happen. They're going to be watching everything from inflation to housing prices to jobs numbers to decide, on those rates moving forward. So we'll see. I'm in the camp that when push comes to shove, if it looks like we're on the brink of like a full blown stock market crash, whatever, we'll be able to tolerate a little bit lower rate hikes. Who knows?
We haven't talked about Luke's favorite stock, or at least not today. I don't know about.
Wait, can I get a couple things out of my head that are stuck in my head right now?
Yes.
Hit me.
Okay, one, don't y'all think it's a I thought this for years and never said it. Ticker THC, Tenet Health. Don't you think it's a travesty that that's not a weed stock?
THC? I would have
Tenet Healthcare Corp.
Tenet Healthcare. I would have assumed
like
it was
a surgery company.
I would have assumed it was a.
All right, so there's one. We got that one off the table. Two, this is Zunaid, more of a question for you. So you have MicroStrategy's up 9% today. You got Bitcoin's up 1%. Does MicroStrategy always trade at that much of a premium to the price of Bitcoin, or is this a potential fade opportunity? I don't know because I don't follow MicroStrategy super closely.
I'm not quite sure, but we can try to go ahead and do a comparison of it. What is it? MSTR, I think, is MicroStrategy.
Yeah, MSTR. It seems like it could be a decent fade opportunity. Stock's up 9% today.
Kind of like a pair trade, huh?
Exactly.
Let's see. Let's go ahead
and I see Jay in the chat saying if I could care could care less about what the stock market does, which I think should be couldn't care less about what the stock market does. But keep in mind the political pressures.
That's
part of mine.
That's what Luke was saying earlier too. With there may have been more political pressure with Trump.
It was way more. It may have been. There was.
I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be, objective and neutral here. But I think Trump had a very good understanding of how important.
You need more COVID stimmy checks.
Yeah. we need to just turn the money printer back on. We need to get Powell back doing what he's best at.
Yes, exactly.
I don't think it's that big of a gap between the two. I mean, again, look, I'm not gonna pretend like I do pair trading quite a bit, but here I have the info for you if you want to take a look at it.
So you got a chart of MSTR and Bitcoin up on the screen?
Yes, I do. So you've got MSTR, which is the actual candles.
Yep.
And then Bitcoin is what you see in yellow. This yellow.
What's the other yellow? There's two yellows.
Yeah, sorry, you're right. The other yellow is VWAP. That wasn't smart of me. Let's go ahead and make this one, I don't know, purple.
Wait, can you just kill VWAP?
Yeah, we will.
But I mean, so I don't know if it's
none of us are trading enough size that it matters.
I don't know, Luke. You don't know my units, but I don't know if it's always 9 to 1.
We've seen you YOLO a contract, pal.
I don't know if it's 9 to 1 typically, but it would make sense that MicroStrategy trades at a premium compared to Bitcoin because I mean, think about it. Everyone knows that MicroStrategy.
Can you zoom? I mean, I can't see shit on this chart.
Let me.
What color is the Bitcoin?
Purple. You can't. Here, let me.
Maybe I just found out that I'm colorblind on this show, but I literally don't see a thing.
There's no way you don't see purple here.
Do you see it, AB?
It's faint. It's faint, but I can see it. I'm looking at it on my computer screen though, and I think you're looking at it on a TV, which may make it harder.
I'm looking at it on a TV. Yeah. All right. Now I sort of have it. Now I have it.
But my point was that everyone knows.
No, look at how tight that's been in the past. This might be a fade MSTR opportunity.
But everyone knows.
Why can't it be a long? Why can't it be a long on the Bitcoin side?
Or okay.
Or do you then grab puts on MSTR and grab calls on Bitcoin and hope for it to get a little tighter?
Yeah. No, that's decent. That's decent.
Everyone knows that MicroStrategy how much Bitcoin they have on leverage. So if Bitcoin's up 5%, that means that MicroStrategy is going to be up more than 5% on it, but more so to the downside, right? If Bitcoin Bitcoin's down 70%. MicroStrategy bought on leverage at 40,000 or whatever. They're going to be down more than that 70%.
That's wild.
Yep. No, that's fair.
I mean, if in that case, then yeah, grabbing puts on MSTR, and if you got calls on Bitcoin somehow, and if Bitcoin went down, then MSTR would go down at least twice as much, and you'd be making a lot more money on the puts than you would be losing on the Bitcoin side of things.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't like. I think there are a lot more potential bearish catalysts for Bitcoin and crypto in the short term than bullish catalysts. I mean, think about it. Have we seen everything play out in terms of from 3A collapsing and all these? I don't think if we've seen everything play out.
I think so.
You think we have?
Yeah.
20,000. That's the level I was.
I think most of the contagion is out of the system. All the leverage has got to be out of the system too, right? I mean, there can't be much leverage left.
I think we'll find out if Bitcoin goes from 20 to 10, but who knows?
I mean, I'm not going to pretend like I know Bitcoin well, but I would not be surprised if we see 10, especially if the market wants to take another leg down. Again, we talked about the EMA on the BBBY side. Here it is, right to the 5 EMA on the daily. You had Bitcoin touch approximately 21,000, and it went ahead and came down $500. Not saying it can't go above it, but
Is 5
It's gotta
EMA
pick
your
up.
go-to?
5 EMA is my go-to, especially when it comes to intraday, and I'll take a look at it for daily levels and things like that as well. Yeah. So I use Ripster's clouds, and this is one of them right here. And so this helps me kind of guide, hey, where should I scale out? Where should I do what? That, along with whole numbers, is what's helped me kind of.
Okay.
So next Wednesday, a
Yeah.
week from yesterday, we get June CPI. I really think, I mean, if you look back at Bitcoin's chart and crypto in general, like as soon as the Fed kind of started going more hawkish is really when the crypto downturn started. I think that like you have to look toward the Fed for, you know, crypto catalysts. And I don't know. I mean, CPI, it would have to be a blowout CPI data to either side for it to have an impact, like a big impact on Bitcoin. But say for whatever reason, we've been talking about oil prices being down. Gas prices are down 22.
Yeah, but look at the month of June, dude.
What do you mean?
Oil got to $92, or USO, sorry, got to $92, which is the ETF that I use.
There's a daily on it.
Right, but I'm saying so you're saying from May to June, gas still was going up. So you think gas prices will still be very much elevated in the CPI data that we'll get next Wednesday?
It'll be in line or higher.
Okay.
By the way, AB, I have never in my life heard anyone say a week from yesterday. That was wild.
I like that too.
That was wild.
That's
like,
what
people
it
usually
is.
say a week from today, a week from tomorrow. I've never had anyone go back in time to reference a moment in the future.
Wait, Junaid, will you give me a technical reading? I bought a stock last week.
Okay.
Announced it on the show. Bought it afterward. I gave like my whole thesis.
Is it Baba?
But it's a boring one. It's a boring one.
not
It's
Baba.
Intel,
Okay.
INTC. I also made the
let's
bold
see.
call that China is going to invade Taiwan or try to overthrow the Taiwanese government before the end of the year.
All right, interesting. I would, hey, Russia can do it. Why not China? So you have resistance all the way from 2017 around this 38 level. Here, I already drew my crayons. You're obviously long, right? Sorry, I missed that part, but
Yeah,
assume.
long.
Okay.
On the long side.
You've got a little bit of resistance around that area. I mean, if you want to take a look at its zone here. If you can get past the 39, then yeah, I think you're looking just fine because you can see that it's above the 5 EMA that I like to be best friends with. So far you've cleared it. Now your next resistance is going to be that 39 area because you had this one be resistance at 2017 and it hasn't quite been tested till now. So that's the only level that I see on that one. And then of course, if you go ahead and clear that, then I think you get it to 42
Can you
bucks.
zoom me back in?
Yeah, sure can.
Okay, so we're getting stopped up here. We already got stopped once. Now we're trying it a second time.
Where was your stop?
I'm saying the price, the momentum. The stock got tripped up.
Oh, you mean
once.
yeah? So it's already been once. Yeah. Okay, I see what
And
you're
now
saying. Yeah.
now we're trying it a second time. Yeah, I didn't mean like I stopped out of it.
Yeah, I thought that's what you meant. Okay, got it. Yeah, you've already got it once here, and then you got it twice there. I'm trying to be cute with it, but you can get the point right there. Well, hey, third time's a charm, maybe. But if you break through that, then I think you're sitting pretty, and you can go ahead and kind of test the 44s and whatnot. I remember I don't know if this was your best trade, but I remember one of the nice trades that you had was Ford because you had leaps on that one, and you were trying to decide if you should hold it because of capital gains. Is that what you're planning on doing with Baba as well?
Oh, Baba's riding or dying.
I mean, your contracts expire what, later this year?
2023.
Oh, so you've got 2023.
I
What
got
month?
6
though?
months, baby.
So January then 2023.
Yeah, January 2023.
What's the strike?
I don't know. I'll check.
Yeah,
I honestly
usually
don't know.
AB, if someone says they don't know, it means
It ain't
it's not
close.
looking pretty. It ain't
It
looking
ain't
pretty.
close. I wouldn't know if it was close.
Wait, if
all
all
right.
was close?
It's better than I thought. What would you guess? It's not good, but it's better than I thought.
I'm gonna go.
My
ahead and guess
Baba,
it's 150.
Baba call strikes.
I'm gonna guess it's 150 calls.
It ain't that good.
170.
Okay, you guys are both assholes.
Is it 200?
190.
Oh my God bless.
Oh, Jim remembered. I thought I knew it was either 170 or 190.
You asking for an advance from Benzinga just in case?
It's a ride or die position.
You got this a while back too, though.
I know it went from like one. I think we got it when they were at like when it was at might have been where it was at now, and it went down to like 80, and then now it's come back up. So Baba's made a really nice move over the past 2 months. Like don't forget, don't overlook Baba's move over the last couple of months.
It has, man. I mean, especially since lockdown started getting lifted and all that stuff. It's made a nice move. Look, it popped above 100, came right back, tested it, and it held.
Well, that was I don't know if you guys remember, there was a point about maybe, I don't know, 6 weeks, 2 months ago, where it was like, I mean, just an absolute myriad of bearish headlines from on Russia, Ukraine, on inflation, on China being completely locked down. And I was sitting here like, it literally cannot get any worse in terms of just bad news coming out. Like, China has to be in a better position 6 months from now than it is today. Because today, like,
everything is so bad,
right? And when I say today, I'm talking back like 2 months ago. Everything was shut down. People couldn't leave their apartments. So it's like you either think, this is how it's going to be for like ever, or it's going to eventually get better over the next few months. And I was always saying it's got to get better because it can't get worse. And I was buying some Baba down there. I bought some under 100, and it's been a good trade so far. It's been one of my only green trades over the past...
you're still holding?
Yeah, I'm still holding.
Oh, what are you waiting for in terms of like what's your target, or are you just...
Well, I bought some shares in my like Roth, in my IRA. So I could sell them and buy. Last time Luke was on, we were talking about maybe this was 2 times ago. We were talking about how in your Roth or investment accounts you can do some tax loss selling where you sell one thing, buy another. But I'm just gonna hold this Baba for a while, honestly. Like I don't think I can hold on to this one for a few years.
You're gonna buy puts just in case any scandal comes out in terms of accounting?
No, I can't buy puts in my Roth IRA. I guess I could in like a different account just to hedge.
Wait, why not?
Wait, no, yeah, you can. Yeah. You just have to get the permissions, and then you should be able to. You're not selling a put, you're buying a put.
Right. Yeah, I just like right now it won't let
me.
You're
saying permissions you don't have. Got it.
And I just like haven't gone through the process of doing it.
I think the only thing that would have been worse 6 months from next week, AB, would have been
6 months.
Would have been if China actually did invade Taiwan. That's like the only thing where it could have taken things a little further down.
Yeah, that's bullish for China.
In the short term?
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, I'm not saying it happened. I don't want it to happen. Don't put that juju out there.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, think about it. If China invades Taiwan and we start sanctioning China and they start sanctioning us back, like we're gonna be fucked from that. Like we're like all U.S. stocks are gonna be down from that too. Like
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying the only thing that could have sent Baba lower from what you were saying, like, hey, it's all priced in and what can go bad. I'm saying the only thing that could have gone bad was them invading Taiwan.
Right. And that would have been me where I'm like, oh, things can't get worse. Then literally like it's like the worst case scenario, and I overlooked like the biggest possible risk factor.
And then you once again buy more because you're like, things can't be worse than this. And then Luke fires you, and then now you're out of a job. So, Luke, I miss your Power Hour show, man. I need some trades. I need some YOLOs maybe for tomorrow. AB, I need something.
That's what this is. This is the trade idea show. So we're gonna go through some trade ideas. So we've talked about some ones that we've brought up on past weeks. Now we're gonna go through some new stocks. Let's do a quick, how about this?
What's up?
Each of us will pick one stock to bring up. The other two will vote on it, and we'll see if we can come to any stocks where we're all in consensus on.
I like this.
All right, deal. I like this too.
So let's each take a couple minutes while we're doing this. We'll take some suggestions from the chat too, maybe. But I did want to talk about one of the, I don't know if it's one of the bigger news stories in the market today, but definitely kind of one of the more tabloidy stories out there was this new Elon Musk story with he's got new twins with a woman that works at Tesla. I don't really care.
Is that hitting the stock?
Wait,
no, Tesla was up like 4% today. This might go hand in hand with my bold claim that I gave last week.
Wow, look at the technicals on Teslas, Junaid.
Bounced off of 700, I know, because I've got a spread on them right now.
Look at those dailies, baby.
Here, let me go ahead and take a look at Tesla.
Woo!
Whoever's sharing their screen, your Twitter's up, just FYI.
I know. I'm oh shoot! I'm
Yeah.
trying to change it to Benzinga Pro, but it won't go.
Wait,
Oh,
Elon Musk
man.
twins. I don't know. I don't know anything about this.
Okay,
stuff.
Yeah, I have
okay.
no idea. Wait, this is true. Like he actually has twins now?
He has like 9 kids. He has like these are his 8th and 9th kids.
I
at least
don't know if he
least
can afford them.
that we know about. No, he definitely can. He's the richest man in the world. But he it's people are making a big deal about it because it's with a woman who works
Oh, so
at
it's kind of
Tesla.
like
And it might have been like while he I don't even know. All right, either way, I don't really care about it. Personal life, like he can do what he wants. My point in bringing this up and what I wanted to talk about was Elon Musk, love him or hate him, you have to admire his ability to like shape a narrative, and he's just a genius in this way. If you guys recall a couple months ago when he was tweeting that he was like switching
when he
from
went Democratic.
when he was like switching from Democrat to Republicans, and he's like, now watch the political attacks pile on me. And then I said on this show before the news story came out, he's trying to get ahead of something. And literally like the next day, the story came out about him offering a flight attendant on his plane, money, like some like sexual assault type thing. And he was like trying to get ahead of that story. And it was like, oh my God, I don't know if it worked, but it was a smart move. He's been tweeting nonstop about like population collapse. Rich people aren't having enough kids. If you look at the numbers, like the more wealthy someone is, the less kids they're having. This is a big problem. People need to be having more kids. And then now it comes out that he has these secret twins. And it's
That's
like,
wild.
Do you have kids?
That's wild. No, I do not. Can't afford them.
But Junaid, have you thought about that? Like he's been tweeting this shit.
I mean,
about,
I thought about what you said before about the couple of months back, but I didn't know about the kids thing. Because keep in mind, Luke AB, he went quiet for 7 days. We wrote about it, right? He was radio silence, not a tweet, not nothing.
Yeah, and his pinned tweet while he wasn't silent was about the birth rate, was about us being not above the birth rate. And so like now he can come out and be like, I'm doing my job. I've got freaking 10 of them running around. Like, you guys aren't doing your job. You guys got to have more kids.
Yeah. I mean, genius. That clearly looks like his angle. That's genius. Luke, you don't have kids, right? Do you?
No, I don't have kids either.
So
I'm
none
not
of us here
helping.
have kids, unless AB, you have something we don't know about.
Does anybody in the chat have kids? I bet nobody in our chat has kids either.
That's why like Bed Bath & Beyond, I don't need to go there because like I don't really have a need for what they provide. But
look, it's still Elon's pinned tweet from May 24th. USA birth rate has been below minimum sustainable levels for 50 years. Like he's been aware that this story is going to come out, and he's just trying to get ahead of it, saying,
"It's so funny."
I know you can see resistance right there.
Oh yeah. Zunaid, give us your.
You can see resistance right at that 2. You guys know I love my whole numbers there. You can see resistance right at 2, and that's when we started plummeting in 2003.
Yeah, that's a psychological level. We just got to break through.
And of course, Zunaid's son pops up in the chat.
Okay, wait. Good.
Can we? Hey, Zunaid, is there a chance we can get a short squeeze on the U.S. total fertility rate?
The way I don't want to get political, but the way it just depends. Maybe if there's a shortage in certain products, we might see a short squeeze.
I see where I see where you were going with that.
There you go.
All right. Well, are you guys ready to get to our trade idea segment where all three of us?
did.
Let's go. EWU. EWU.
All right.
All right. Let me get it pulled up in Benzinga Pro. Pro.benzinga.com. Go for your free 2-week trial. No credit card needed. Your one-stop shop for EWU.
AB trying to get that bonus.
Yeah, your one-stop shop for everything. Wait, Luke, you said EWU?
Yeah. Echo Whiskey Ukulele.
Oh, you can't do an ETF.
Why not? If it makes money, who cares?
It's not as fun because then we can't argue about if we're. I guess we can. We can still do.
Look at how professional Luke looks.
We can still do
Jimmy.
Bull Bear. All right, Luke. So I know you don't follow the news a lot. This is the United Kingdom ETF. The UK actually had some news today. So in the World Cup coming up, one of their players got hurt. No, I'm just kidding. The actual UK news today, Luke. Do you want to go ahead and give the news story? I have a feeling.
Yeah. So basically, We're gonna get a new PM in the UK.
Yeah.
I think that you have more risk than you have upside, depending on who's selected. And so I would fade this one.
You grabbing puts? You grabbing just short the ETF?
I'd short the ETF.
So
I'm not, but that would be my play on
Yeah,
it.
that'd be
I
your
think there's
play on
more
it.
downside than upside. It's
So-
not going to be crazily volatile either way, but I think you have more downside than upside.
All right, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, just because I think it'll be more. I think it'll be more fun to have a debate. I'm not claiming to be a geopolitical expert here or anything, but from what I understand and have read about the situation, I have understood that the economic impact of Brexit has been terrible for the UK. The what it's done for trade deals with countries also in Europe. It's just made a lot of economic things harder in the UK. And if we go back, that was in 2016. So the flip side of this, Luke, would be if a new PM comes in and is not on board with the whole Brexit thing, maybe they try to get back into the EU. Could be bullish for the UK economy.
Yeah, I thought about that. It's a risk for sure.
It's a risk if you're short this ETF.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it's a risk to my thesis.
What do you have, AB? Or go ahead.
That's it. That would be my, because I know, again, I'm not a British political expert, but I know Boris Johnson was a big proponent of Brexit, I believe. Yeah. And so if a new one comes in and is more like, oh, let's get back into these trade deals, let's get back into the EU, people could see that as bullish for Britain. But either way, I think to Luke's point, there will probably be more pain in the short term. I mean, it seems like kind of a shit show over there, which is hard to say in the US, like with everything going on here, looking on the outside saying it's a shit show going on anywhere else. But I mean, geez.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend like I have much expertise, like you said, Luke. I mean, like you said, AB, definitely not my strong suit at all. You've got a nice little bounce since it looks like Boris Johnson has taken his resignation or announced it or whatever, and you've got a little bit of momentum to the upside. Maybe a crack of 31s is where I would go ahead and stop out if you wanted to go short. But yeah, this is not anywhere near my expertise. There's like day trading, then there's like investing, and then there's like, hey, let me go mess with international markets. This is way out of my league.
Wait, Luke, what was the actual like scandal? Like, why did Boris Johnson step down?
I thought it was because people hated his coronavirus stuff. No.
Yeah, it was the COVID parties, right?
Yeah. It was the way that he handled COVID, I thought, was what really.
Yeah. And then it leaked
everything.
like he was like throwing ragers the whole time.
Were they bangers at least?
They looked pretty bumping.
Like,
I'd say bus. I'd say one bus and not two.
One bus and not two. All right. If you're gonna get fired for like throwing parties, they better be some like you got to have Ludacris there. Maybe like Nelly performing. You got to go all out.
Mm-hmm. Is that the type of rager you throw? Is that what this is?
But
yeah, it was basically the fact that how are you going to tell a country to be locked up when you're out there partying?
But wasn't Pelosi doing that shit too? Wasn't she at like dinners and stuff while they couldn't do stuff like?
Yeah, everybody did. I did. Y'all did.
Yeah.
Nobody's special here.
As far as I know, I've been avoiding COVID. As far as I know, I have no idea if I ever got it, but I didn't have symptoms.
Weren't you just traveling?
I've been traveling for the past 3 months, and I've been fine. And I get tested every time I arrive on site, so I've been fine so far. But yeah, that's my biggest accomplishment this past 2 years is not getting COVID and not losing a single pair of AirPods.
There you go.
Knock on wood. But yeah.
Wait, I don't know what this means. 30 FTJ. CNBC is hammering Voyager. Market Rebellion. Isn't Market Rebellion like the Nigerians? Are they?
But remember, Market Rebellion and Voyager were going to launch a brokerage together.
Oh, but how are they hammering Market Rebellion? Like, isn't that their own thing?
I don't know, but you've got Judge talking to the Nigerian brother right now. One of them. I don't know if this one's Pete or what, but
they might just be asking him like hard questions about the grilling them. All right, Zunaid, your turn. Your turn. Give us your stock.
I wish you had talked to me an hour earlier, or I guess for live trading, because there's one trade that we took, and that was on Tesla. I took a spread on Tesla. I've got the 740 Bought the 740, sold the 750. Calls expiring tomorrow.
So a little call debit spread.
Yep. Little call debit spread because I believe that
All
we
right,
will
time
go
out.
ahead
Are
and-
you impressed that I knew that?
No, you work for a financial media company.
All
I
right,
would hope
fine.
you know that. It's not like you're just an editor or something.
What are you trying to say about?
I'm saying just in the sense of where you don't need to know about financial markets because you're making graphics and animations. Don't you dare try to put me on the spot like I'm putting down people.
Okay, all right.
Enver, don't listen to him. Shout out to him, one of the hardest working people I know here. But anyway, yeah, I've got
I don't
Tesla.
think one of. I think Luke and Enver are probably on their own.
I would
tier,
say
and then
Luke,
everyone else
Enver, and
below them.
Michael. Michael Murray will call me at random times of the day because he's working on some project that he wants something with. So I'd put those three up there.
How many outbound calls after midnight do you think I had last night? Let's see. Wow, I talk on the phone so much.
You butt
1,
dialed
2,
me.
3, 4,
Does
5,
that
6,
count?
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, I've already called 13 people today. How many outbound calls do you think I had after midnight? And what time was the last outbound call that I made?
I'm gonna go ahead and say you had 2 after midnight, and the last one was approximately at 1:27 a.m.
Oh shit! I had 4, and the last one was at exactly 1:27 a.m.
Yes.
Aaron Thomas did not answer my call at 12:47 in the morning.
Is that really who you called?
One of the people I called.
What'd you call him about?
I couldn't figure out how to log into my Gmail.
Oh my god.
Our top dog leader.
We all
couldn't
have
get-
things that we're good at. Okay.
See, now you've upset our friend here. Look what you did.
Wait,
AB.
look at me. That was what you said. How are you going to put this on me? Don't put this evil on me, Ricky Bobby. All right, Zunaid. So your pick is Tesla.
My
but this
pick is Tesla to go ahead and hit 741 by tomorrow end of day.
Oh, dude. Okay, you must have been watching Benzinga live earlier because I said
Can we
earlier.
crank call Spencer? Yeah, that's a good idea.
you
All right,
wanna
can we
call
just
him?
talk,
Go
let's talk about some stocks. Sorry.
Oh, I thought you were about to
One
call
more
him.
stock. One more stock. Let's do one more stock.
We've been
I like
talking
Tesla
about stocks.
741.
So, all right, you must have been watching Benzinga live earlier, Zunaid, because I was looking at Tesla earlier, and I gave 740 as my exact resistance level. I said we've just been kind of trading in this range. So I want to see Tesla break out of above either 740 or below 630 here. And I think we might have to wait until July 20th when we get earnings to see that break either direction. I wouldn't be surprised to see us just kind of trading in this zone until then. But I'm actually bearish on Tesla in the short term. Into this earnings report, I don't think that Tesla will be able to report. I don't think the report will be terrible, but I don't think it'll be in line with what has been come to be expected out of Tesla. And I expect to see a decent trade-off from there. So I haven't started yet, but I am going to start loading up on some puts into that earnings report and see how that works out.
That's crazy. You must have been watching live trading before Benzinga live to get that idea.
I was. Can we talk about can we talk about Snowflake while I was saying we can talk about Snowflake in a minute?
I want to talk about AB. What?
Oh. I see what you did there.
All right, let's look at Snow. This is my last stock.
All
What are you
right.
thinking, Luke?
Yeah, Luke, if you got to run, by all means, brother.
I don't have anything I'm thinking yet.
He can't even get into his Gmail.
Snowflake. All right. So my thoughts, and I don't really have an edge on Snowflake or really like the software tech space as a whole. But Snowflake's in this group of stocks like Twilio, Square, all these stocks have just gotten beaten up so much that at some point, just in terms of how much they've got beaten. I mean, look at Snowflake.
I'm not buying Snowflake. Its stock is still expensive as hell. Revenue growth is strong for sure. But when we're in bear market territory, I'm not picking stocks that are depressed and still trading at 35 times price to sales. Right? This is where I'm going to be picking Netflix, Meta, Visa, etc. Snowflake is a pass for me.
I don't disagree with you there, Luke. And we talked about this a week or two ago that when the markets come around, those companies like
And buy Twilio. Maybe make that your pair trade. Buy Twilio and sell Snowflake. That's actually, I think, decent.
Yeah, and that's where I think Twilio, Snowflake, what's the other one? Datadog, they're all to me in the same boat. Well, I mean, Twilio.
I mean, it's just SaaS, right?
Right. It's just SaaS, just like growthy software plays. I will say that if we get like Fed reversing, becoming more dovish, I do think some of these like high growth names that have got beaten down the most could grow at a faster rate than some of your Apples, Netflixes, Microsofts, but they're not going to be as
Yeah,
safe.
I agree, but I'm still more risk off than I am risk on. I did buy stocks last Thursday or last Friday. I think last Friday for the first time since this market correction. I started averaging back in, but I'm still more risk off than I'm risk on.
What'd you buy? Would you like to share?
Yeah.
Obviously not the quantity, but just the company.
First thing that I did was I harvested some tax losses. A lot. I captured a lot of tax losses, but they were all in the ETFs.
Okay. Wait,
right?
you sold
like,
your ETFs?
I sold. So think about this, right? Let's say you're down $100,000 in SPY. You can sell SPY.
Right.
Recognize $100,000 short-term loss.
Right.
You can then buy a different ETF that tracks large caps. So you basically have the same asset that you previously owned, but now you have this tax loss. I'm going to be living out that tax loss for like the next 2 years.
You're not worried about a wash sale on that?
No. If it's a different index, you're fine. That's why ETFs, it's so easy. It's so easy.
But if I went ahead and sold like EA
the SPY
and
is
bought
S&P
ATVI.
500, and then the Vanguard one is like somebody else 500, right? It's technically a different index, but pretty much the same thing. It's not a wash sale. It's a little fuckery there, right?
It is. Yeah, I like that. I didn't know that ETFs were a little easier to do. I'm over here thinking.
Yeah, no, ETFs are way easier than individual stocks, in my opinion. Like
Solid
you do it stocks, it's like you sell Visa, capture loss, buy MasterCard. You still have like some decent differences in like individual business risk, but ETFs, it's way easier. I went from iShares, US large caps to Vanguard US large caps. They're different underlying indexes. Boom.
And that's what's so funny about those companies that make these different
Smart, man.
funds is they're all just like they create the same funds. And there's like a minuscule difference in like expense ratios and how expensive it is to hold one of them. And that's why I like the Vanguard ones, is because they're typically the cheapest. But like Luke said, I mean, you can bounce around from an iShares to a Vanguard to a Spider to a I don't even know. I ran out of O
Like
shares.
here's one I sold IWM.
Yep.
Well, pull up that one, AB.
Okay, IWM, that is the Russell 2000 from
small cap.
iShares.
And then I bought IJR.
IJR, you bought the iShares Core S&P Small Cap ETF instead.
Exactly, different benchmark, same shit.
Same shit. I see that. I see this one in the
So
chat.
I did that, but to answer Zunaid's question, what else did I do? So I did the ETF tax loss harvesting. I did buy more U.S. large caps than I owned previously. I bought Meta.
Nice.
I don't think I added to Netflix. I did not add to Netflix. I bought several small bank stocks, and I believe that's it.
Wow. Is this real?
I don't think I've ever in my life.
Oh, I added Visa as well. Ticker V.
What are you looking at there, AB?
Braden in the chat said thoughts on Simp Q.
There's no way.
There's no way. We're looking at ticker Simp Q right now.
Oh my God! Look at this chart.
I'm about to hold this up.
Look at the chart.
I know. We're looking at it. Right?
Yes.
Up 20,000%.
Yes.
Someone had to get in on this. It was worth 2 cents yesterday. It's worth $3 today.
Bro, this is actually trading on the bid right now. Holy
What
shit.
is going on?
What's the float on this?
All right, can someone give me some math on if you bought $100 of this stock yesterday, how much money you'd have today?
On what price? At 2 cents?
Yeah, 2 cents. If you had 100, so
you would have 5,000 shares, and right now, let's just say at $3, it'd be worth 15. So you're
$150,000.
Wait, whoa, no.
Or no,
15,000. Yeah.
This is the crazy. This might be the craziest stock move I've seen in the last like year, like since.
Yeah, this is wild. Simp Q.
I can't believe we didn't have this one on watch.
This one's for all you simps out there. I got to look at this on like a minute chart. Has it just been straight ripping?
Yeah, I'm
pretty much. I'm looking at the minute on E-Trade, and it's just.
I'm looking at the minute too.
Yeah, I mean that is nuts.
And so I don't know this. I should know this. Do these OTC stocks get halted for circuit breakers or no? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I mean,
no, because I mean, you've got candles that went from 121 to 164. That's like a 50%. It's about a 39% move, whatever. So apparently not.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think right here it looks like no. Yeah,
I mean, it's got room to go if you really want to go ahead. Look, bro, look at the daily. Hold on. Look at the daily. Look at the daily.
How are you going to do technical analysis on this chart?
I'm not. I tried to, but I'm not. Look at the daily. Look how far back it goes. It goes up to 4,000.
Yeah, I was trying to understand this and I couldn't figure it out either.
I mean, it's just a bunch of reverse splits.
The reverse splits, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, what happened over the past? Look at like the last, I don't know, 30 days.
Yeah, it went from.
Wait, how did it go from $1 to 2 cents?
I don't know.
Is that right? That's what I'm wondering.
I don't even know what this company does. Let's go to the overview of Benzinga Pro. So this
There's
is one
no.
of the, this one.
Is
the
there an
best parts.
overview?
Yeah.
I did not think there was going to be one.
It's Simply
What's
Inc.
the PE ratio on this one?
Hold on, Zunaid. We're trying to figure out what this company does. Simply Inc. through its subsidiary. All right, so it's a subsidiary company.
Visit company homepage. Just click on the link.
Operates a chain of retail.
Oh, yes. Click on the link.
Authorized reseller of Apple products.
Tell me if this is a buy or sell signal. Click on the link to go to the company website.
All right, we're going to it right now. All right, Simply Inc., formerly Cool Holdings. We make Premier look simple. Contact. All right, so I don't even know what it does from its website.
Yeah, I have no idea.
All right. I mean,
what do? Do you sell skins?
Wait, contact us. Hit contact us.
Should we call them and just be like, why is your stock up 20%?
20,000%.
All right, Simply Mac corporate office is like a suite in Salt Lake City. They've got one in Miami. All right, should we
40 plus locations nationwide. So basically, it's a Apple reseller.
Yeah.
No, I think they own and operate.
That's what it said.
Okay.
It says an authorized. If you go back to Benzinga, it said it was an authorized Apple reseller or whatever. I'm pretty sure if you scroll down.
I thought it was.
Wait, go to investor information. This is hilarious.
All right, hold on a sec. Operates a chain. Yeah, you're right, Tanid. Authorized reseller of Apple products. So they just own those like shitty little electronic stores. It sounds like.
I mean, since we've been talking, it's gone from $3 to $3.21. So.
Oh my god. Simp Q.
Simp Q. This one's for all the simps out there. All right, investor information. License error. App key has reached call limit.
Everyone's reaching out to him.
Wait, tell Lebos they could be an API client. They need some help here.
Oh my goodness. This is wild.
All right, Simp Q. All right, with that, I'm logging off.
Yeah, I've got an affiliate call at 1. Maybe it's all you.
That's your top stock for the rest of 2022. Simp Q, heard it here first.
Are you gonna buy some, AB?
Reminder that this is not investment or trading advice. Doesn't Benzinga have referral codes for Voyager? I don't know. Good question. Great question.
Please reach out to Mitch at benzinga.com.
Yeah, if you need, if you, I can't even do it. I can't even do it with a straight face.
What? It's all right. We'll work on your troll. We'll work on our
troll. All right, guys. Reminder, no Benzinga live tomorrow. Thank you, Zunaid, for hopping on today. We will be having our Benzinga quarterly meeting. So
don't remove me. I remove me.
You said you have a call. Go.
Anyway, don't forget tomorrow. All right, I'm out. Bye.
Tomorrow, no Benzinga live. We'll be having our Benzinga quarterly meeting. We'll be back on Monday. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Been fun hanging out with y'all. I'll see y'all on Monday.
This is Benzinga Live. Spencer Israel